Is the Gymshark Energy Seamless back? Here we have the Energized Seamless with an S, and it does have an awful amount of resemblance to the OG Energy Seamless. Yes, it does. Zoom in, bae, on those little baby eyelets we see. It looks like the updated 2025 version. You cannot put these new leggings in my hand and expect me not to draw some conclusions with the OG Energy Seamless. You mean to tell me I'm not gonna do my comparing? Because if you thought that, you thought wrong. Then you don't know me, girl. I just saw mad dust, just poof. This is 2019 Energy Seamless, okay? Energy plus Seamless. I know I'm gonna get some people going, girl, that was the Energy plus. Energy Seamless, okay? We don't need that plus sign in between. This is going back to orange hair era Ash. We don't like to talk about her. We don't know her. I pretend I never met her. Now your girl's back to her natural roots. And by natural, I mean Garnier, Fructis, at home dye. Because beauty on a budget. I got a mortgage, goddammit. If you're a budget beauty babe, then go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Us budget beauty babe bitches need to stick together, am I right? I don't want to necessarily confuse gals who are newer to Gymshark over the past few years, those who have no clue what the Energy Seamless was back in the day. Don't want to confuse you guys. So if you're new here, I'm reviewing this as if this is a brand new legging, brand new collection, because essentially it kind of is. However, for my OG gals like myself, if you've been watching me since 2019 Gymshark, then that section of the video is gonna be for you, okay? We're gonna just do some quick little side-by-side comparison. I have one legging, two sports bras. They're also dropping a longer sports bra top I don't have my hands on, and a pair of shorts. As far as I know, it's those 4 items that are dropping. At least that's what I'm seeing because I've been stalking Gymshark Women's page. They're dropping some beautiful photos and I'm totally gonna snag for this thumbnail, by the way. So I do believe it's pretty minimal of a drop, but the colors are absolutely summertime. They're stunning, they're bright, they're just in your face. They're giving all those summer vibes. I mean, just one look at their Pinterest and you can literally taste the color palette. Speaking of Pinterest, you guys should totally follow me over there. If you have a Pinterest account, I absolutely love posting there. I love Pinterest so much more than Instagram. It's not even funny. Pinterest, I feel like I was meant to be a Pinterest girly. Oh my God. Oh, remind me to grab Velcro sneakers. All right, guys, let's start with the legging. Again, I'm reviewing this as if it's its own brand new thing. I'm not referencing the OG Energy just yet. I have everything in my true size small. Here are my measurements for reference. Let's do the damn thing. First impressions putting them on. Feels like the OG. No, just kidding. They went on just fine. I'm feeling all of the support literally from the thighs, around the knees, and around the calves. I'm feeling little to no support, very minimal support around the glutes, not a whole ton of support around the waistband. In other words, I'm not feeling that major compression. It's not tight around the waist, which I prefer, but of course keep that in mind if you're looking for something highly compressive around the waist. This will not be it. You might want to have to look at Vital or something else. So they went with a 3-tiered tapered waistband. Does sit pretty high-waisted on me, not too extreme, but it's there. My short torso almost can't handle this. It's getting at the risky zone here. Are you seeing this? If it was a ½ an inch taller, I would literally be like, you. And I know that none of you guys heard what I just said because all of your eyes went whoop right here, but do not get it twisted. We will get to this Franken seam in just a minute. Check it out, check it out. Look at this extra slack I have here. It's your traditional thick ribbed band, so it definitely has some density to it. This whole legging does. This is a durable ass fabric. Keep in mind, mostly nylon, like 90% nylon. 10% elastane. So very minimal stretch here. You're not gonna get that buttery soft feel. No way, no how. This is more or less that durable, rough and tough gym material that Gymshark's known for. Now, don't get it twisted. They definitely have come a long way gathering collections that give off that real soft feel, okay? Like the soft sculpt, the new Vital that they just dropped. But when it comes to what Gymshark as a brand is most known for, I'm gonna go ahead and say it's that durable fabric here. Right off the bat, this seamless collection, gym-oriented. You're not really gonna wanna wear these to Pilates. You're not really gonna wanna sit there and do yoga in these. These you're weight training in. I gotta say, really nice in the support department around the legs though, specifically around my joints. I definitely feel it around my kneecaps, and I really especially enjoyed running in these because I felt nice and held in. So if you're looking for nice, moderate to higher support throughout the leg, That's what this will do, but do not expect it around the waist, and don't expect it around the glutes either. Now, I am not sad about that. The glutes need to breathe, in my opinion. I don't really care about being held in around the glutes. I don't mind if I get a little jiggle wiggle back there when I'm running, but just look at the slow-mo. You can see that movement. You can definitely see where the support level is and isn't. So when sizing, keep that in mind. Like for me in particular, my opinion, if I was in between sizes, I would have to size up rather than down, because I would not want this to be any tighter. I just wouldn't be able to handle that. I could deal with a little let up in the waist. I can't deal with having my legs suffocating and too tight. But let's take a gander at this contour. So we have some very thin ribbed contour going down the leg. Check it out. I mean, it goes all the way down, and then it's followed by super minimal, tiny eyelet designs. They are laser cut. They help with breathability in the legging. Overall, I would say this legging is pretty breathable. Now we can talk about the Frankenseam. That is a word that not I made up, but bae. He's a crazy bitch, let me tell you guys. Oh my God, when he said Frankenseam to me in the gym, I was dying laughing. I was like, oh, you're such a brilliant man for that. I have seen this design before. I cannot say that I haven't seen this, but I absolutely can say that I don't like it. Oh, what I would have done to just end the seam right here and just let the waistband be itself. Okay, let it just be a waistband and not have the seam go all the way up looking like, wait, who the hell forgot to chop that part off? It looks like somebody just forgot to get rid of that. So I don't love that. I don't love that design. If Gymshark wants to take this top seam on the band and just throw her into the pond, we will not miss her. Sayonara. This does not have a scrunch bump. This does not have a hidden elasticated scrunch bump internally. Nothing of the sort. So your glutes really are doing a lot of the work. This seam does a little bit of something, like certain angles. I'm like, okay, it's hugging, it's molding a little bit, but it is subtle. It's not gonna give you a badunkadunk. This is more of a performance-based legging. It's not necessarily going to be glutes on display. I like glutes on display. I really do. I just, I mean, when I'm working out, specifically when it's leg day, if I don't see my glutes separated, I don't have glutes. I'll just not train them at all. They did add a little bit of contour. If you look so closely, there's a very faint contour here at the upper glutes. There's also faint contour at the under booty too. If you're not sitting your cheeks right in it, at certain angles where you see the contour, it's gonna look a little too low. Now I did try to really hike these baddies up. I tried hiking them up and getting my glutes to really fill out what's meant to be filled out and let the contour just engulf the circumference. Does that make sense? Everything was fine when I did that, but did a few squat exercises and things like that. It just, it slipped a little bit. Put it this way, my glutes weren't staying where I wanted them to stay. The contour shifted ever so slightly. Luckily, they didn't do any shading with the contour. It's like so minimal that sometimes you don't even see it in certain lighting. Absolutely no gape in the waistband, and by all means, it is a very comfortable legging. It definitely moves with you. There's no sliding down the bum necessarily, unless you're really trying to hike up that contour, then you can expect it to drift downward, like I said before. But that being said, when it comes to this material, keep in mind, like this legging's long on me. I can't shimmy up this material at all. You see that? It's about I'm gonna go with like 3 or 4 inches too long. This is how it's gonna remain on my ankle. If I were to try to shimmy it up and smooth out the material, it's not gonna happen. Why? Because this is the type of material that will not smooth itself out no matter how hard you try. It has ever so slightly that plasticky feel, a little bit of stiffness. You guys know, if you know, you know, which is why I feel like it's not molding around my body like some of their other collections. I'm not getting a dreaded CT, none. Did not expect to get one because it's not the type of material that's gonna hug everything, if you know what I mean. And there's no scrunch that's pulling through. So I think you're gonna be really good in that department. Now let's go ahead and talk about the logo. They went with the shark head, somewhat tonal in the same family of this blue, this like teal blue. It actually matches my bra color, which is this light aqua color. So I like that they have this as like a comparison because you will not find this light blue in these leggings. This has some shine to it, so much so that my camera had a hard time picking up this color. It was repelling the color because the shine was just doing something real messed up to the camera and the camera was not having it. So be mindful that this footage looks a little funky because the shine was unbearable for it. Now, when certain lightings, I'm like, it doesn't look too bad. But when you actually have like lights on you, I'm pretty sure the daylight, like that's gonna make your shit shine. We tested it from multiple angles in the gym, still the same amount of shine and the same amount of cellulite. This legging is not the best for cellulite concealment, not at all. I think it's just a material thing, I do. It shocked me, to be real with you, because I feel a lot of support throughout my leg. I guess that hold is just doing more emphasizing than smoothing. Bitch has to stay quenched. We talked about how these are breathable leggings. They are pretty thick though, I feel that density, but let's see if it wicks sweat. Okay, dripping sweat, here we go. Oh my God, I can see you. Oh my God, you didn't even try to conceal yourself, did you? Okay, give it a few seconds and let's see. Okay, you're dry as a damn bone. You are legit. So you can definitely expect to see dripping sweat in these light leggings, but I'm telling you, with the breathability, it wicked right away. My skin's dry as a bone, which you guys know is important. When you're sweating hard, you're working hard at the gym, you don't want to worry about creating rashes on your skin with soggy gym sets. That sucks. It reminds me of just staying in a wet swimsuit all day. Start getting little red bumps and you're just uncomfortable, and then you're like, oh my God, I feel like just a wet clam. Like, I gotta get out of this. If you're looking to snag some Gymshark, do keep in mind I have my support code. It's AshleyG10, and it saves you 10% off of all of your Gymshark orders until they drop me. Because I don't know, I feel like I'm one bad review away from getting dropped. They are probably looking at me like, bitch, if you don't say nice things. No, just kidding. No, that's why I love Gymshark. They literally don't judge me for being myself and for keeping it real on this channel. And that's how it should be, or else I can't work with a brand like that. So let's go ahead and talk about the bra, shall we? This looks so familiar to me. I'm gonna go ahead and say this heavy rib design, it's giving rest day. Do you guys remember last year, they dropped a bunch of rest day, almost like seamless sets? This looks like that bra with the really heavy texture. It looks similar to this too. Like a bikini cut style, very low, minimal profile. So that's what I'm getting with this. This bra is obviously low support. You cannot expect bra pads in here because they didn't put any, but there is an option to insert. Gymshark's been doing this lately with their minimal bras. I noticed that they're not adding in the bra inserts. I've said this before, I don't love that. I feel like if you have the insert and you're able to put your own in, then just add them. It doesn't hurt to just keep them there. And if someone wants them out, they could take them out. They even added in that little baby eyelet design too, just to look cohesive with the legging. But to be honest with you, the heavy ribbing is doing a lot with keeping this material pretty thick. But before I was in my gym, it was a little bit cold. And from certain angles, I did see a little something. So it's safe to say if I wore this to a public gym, I would add in the bra pads. My home gym, nah. I actually really like the backing. Let me tell you why. The backing is customizable, which is a really nice touch. So I crisscross these, but you can obviously keep them straight. I really do love a nice crisscross in the back. I feel like going straight back gets a little bit boring for me. If you crisscross it, it does add a little bit more support here as well. So I just like it. I just like that look much better. The straps are nice and adjustable. Since the border of this bra has such a thick seam, it really does help add in that extra support here. Look how thick this seam is. When I was doing my pull downs, it did not even budge. This is nowhere close to being their traditional minimal bras. Not even in the same family. Even though they kind of resemble each other, especially from far away, you don't see the texture. It's not the same thing. This gives you so much more support. I was on the Roman chair doing my back bends, and I'll tell you, they held up perfectly. I didn't feel like I was slipping out or anything. So with this being such a minimal style bra, they did a great job at adding in that extra support needed to actually get a good workout in and not be like mindful of your boobs at all times, because that does get old. If in between though, I'm gonna go ahead and say, I think sizing up is what I would be doing, because as great as these thick seams are with helping with that support, they can dig. After a long day, you might start feeling that little something back here, and I don't like that risk. So I would personally size up if I was in between, but I'm so happy with my size smalls for both pieces. Both of these materials feel the same. They both have that real rugged feel. And again, a lot of that ruggedness is coming from the contour. The ribbing is doing that. Like for example, touching my tush, just rubbing it like a freaking genie in a bottle right now. It has a smoothness to it. The real rough and tough is it's coming from this damn contour. Let me show you another bra I got. It's really pretty. Just switching things up real quick. with the lime green bra that they're dropping. Do some mix and match, got that nice curved hem. Ooh, I gotta say, this bra is really good at being flattering and functional at the same time, but I'm gonna go ahead and say, of course, this is for smaller breasts. If you're working with a triple D, E, F, G, L, M, N, O, N, O, P, that's when I'm gonna say, you know, you might wanna grab a higher support bra. But I believe with the structural quality of this bra, I think a lot of bust sizes could absolutely get away with this. It is so flattering, and I honestly wish that the leggings were just as flattering. I wish the Frankenseam just did not exist, I do. But other than that, they're definitely on to something with this legging. As long as you like this material. And I'm gonna say that, I will say that even about the soft sculpt, I'll say that about any of their other materials, like it depends. Depends on what you prefer in a legging, the type of exercises you do. Not gonna lie, I've come a long way in the legging game since 2019. So I have different preferences now than I did back in the day when I hardly knew about leggings. Nowadays, I'm preferring more of the softer feel. I'm in my soft girl era. If I'm doing HIIT or if I'm cycling, doing some cardio, I will 100% get a lot of use out of these. These are functional AF, but my everyday legging, doing low-key movements where I don't anticipate really overly sweating, I'm gonna go ahead and stick to my softer materials. I prefer a little more stretch, like that is my preference. I'm feeling a ton of stretch along ways here, but not necessarily horizontally. That's important to note. I always like to mention that because when you're putting it on, you'll feel that stretch this way. But when you actually have it on your body, don't expect it to stretch out too much here. Let me go ahead and pull up my scalloped chair. One last thing I'm gonna say about this bra before we head into the comparisons. If you're planning to wear it straight like this, I have it on the tightest setting. I still feel like there's a little bit of a let up here. Still a nice amount of stretch up here. Right here, very stretchy band. It just feels like it's a little too loose and it doesn't tighten anymore, which is why I'm always gonna keep it on the crisscross. I'm always gonna do that kind of backing with this bra. I wanna mention that just in case you're somebody who's like, no, I wanna wear it straight. I need you guys to know that it could possibly, depending on your bust size, be a little bit loose here now. Okay, you see that? There's a little bit of let up here. Wearing it crisscross gave me all the extra support I needed and just made me feel a little more confident in the piece. My OG Gymshark girlies, this one's for you. 2019 Energy Plus Seamless, 2025. Here we go. The breakdown. Side note, I'm very well aware they dropped way more Energize Seamless than the 2019. They had a lot of different renditions, but I'm purposely going to compare it to the 2019 because this is pretty much the last time they made that big hitter legging that everybody liked. I know they tweaked it here and there, but this was such a classic and I feel like we all love and miss this. Well, let's start with the waistband. Now, this is 2019 boxy, super boxy waistband, really thick band. Look how many, I mean, that is a high waist band. You have a lot of that moto ribbing down the leg. Moto, yes, I said it, along with the straight ribbing as well. The eyelet designs were huge and they were not laser cut. They had different sizes, different textures. I loved the moto ribbing fabric. I feel like that moto ribbing just added such a sporty look to it. It contrasted beautifully to the eyelet holes. Are you kidding me? Now, fast forward to 2025, they just did away with the moto. There's none of that on this. They kept the eyelet designs, but extremely small laser cut. They minimized the heck out of the contour, and I feel like this is their modern take on this crazy contour design of 2019. And I think this is pretty cool because this is a nice chance for you guys to see how activewear trends have legitimately changed over the past like 5 years. They have changed drastically. We're now in our tonal era, our minimalist era. The more toned down a piece, the more appealing it is these days, right? I also really like the fact that, well, these were capris. These were available in that length. Not to mention they went with the long form text down the hip. I haven't seen that on a legging in a hot minute. Shark face logo on the back, like when wearing these two side by side, wearing this size small, I actually had a trouble getting it up. It was way too tight on me. I had the worst uni butt because there was literally no seam in the back. Whereas I'm glad they updated this new version and actually added in a seam right down the middle. That was necessary. Granted, they went a little too high. They exaggerated that seam a little too much. They're a little too seam happy with it back there. But it's better than no seam. And you have to admit that is true. No seam back there makes me look like my two cheeks just blend into one big cheek. I'm not looking for Cyclops booty. In terms of actual material, they are so close, so close. 93% nylon, 7% elastane. 90% nylon, 10% elastane. So damn similar with their stretch. Same support level too, where I'm feeling most of the support around the thighs and the knees and the calves, but not really around the waist. That's similar, okay? They literally took the same type of legging and just tweaked it a bit. This is why I felt comfortable enough to draw the comparison, because trying them on side by side, I saw a lot of similarities. The name was similar and I just knew I was onto something. The big difference when it comes to the material, and it's not even big, but it's noticeable to me, a little shinier. The new version has a slightly, just by a fraction of a slice on your birthday when you say, just give me a little tiny slice of cake. That's how small that sliver is of a difference. In the fact that the 2025 feels a little bit smoother, just a little bit sleeker. And I think that's what's causing the shine, whereas 2019 back in the day, like super matte. Even on a molecular level, if you were to take a microscope and really look at these two materials side by side, you can see a little bit of that smoother texture, whereas the OG had a little bit of a pointillism texture to it when you look up close. Like the body of the legging had some texture as well, which is why it felt a little more textured. This is why this one's a little more smooth. Now, even though they're both nylon and spandex, in theory, they should feel identical, but of course that's not true. Manufacturers change. One nylon and spandex can feel different from another nylon and spandex, even if the percentages almost line up. Now, while I have my OG girlies all in one place, and if you stay till the end, I got a little surprise for you. You guys gotta get a load at my very first ever pair of Gymshark leggings. This had to make it to the show, okay? These are the OG Energy Plus Seamless 2019 panty dropping leggings. Gymshark had the balls to add in a panty. They sewn in that panty, baby. Oh my God, they did. But I still loved it. You guys know everyone's talking about the butterfly effect these days. Well, this is my butterfly effect. This is what caused the chain reaction, the wave of circumstances to bring us here today. It all started from this baddie right here. I'm so grateful for you. Gosh. Now, all right, guys, so that concludes today's video. What are we thinking about the Energized Seamless? I gotta say, there's an awful lot of similarities to the Energy Plus Seamless. So I wanna say, without actually hearing this from Gymshark's mouth, that this is the updated version. Let me know if you guys have any other questions that I didn't answer in today's video. I loved having you here. Today was such a blast. I had a lot of fun going down memory lane, feeling that nostalgia kick in. It's a warming feeling for me, and I hope you felt the same way. You guys have changed our lives. We love each and every one of you. That's Bay and I. We love you guys. Drop a comment with your thoughts, and thank you guys so much for being here. Lots more Gymshark to come very soon. I love you guys, and we will catch you in our next video.